She was only 5 years old, a little girl with blonde hair, blue eyes, and a quiet presence. Summer Wells should have grown up, but instead, she vanished without a trace. What happened to her remains one of the most disturbing and unresolved child disappearance cases in recent years. Summer Moon Utah Wells lived in rural Hawkins County, Tennessee, with her family. The area was isolated, surrounded by woods, hills, and narrow roads. Summer was described as shy and soft-spoken. She loved to play outside, enjoyed simple moments, and depended completely on the adults around her to keep her safe. On June 15, 2021, Summer spent the day with her mother and siblings. They ran errands, visited a swimming hole, and returned home in the early evening. According to her mother, Summer was last seen inside the house shortly after 6:30 p.m. She was wearing a pink shirt and gray shorts. Her mother said she watched Summer walk down a hallway toward the basement play area. That was the last confirmed sighting of Summer Wells. Minutes later, when her mother went to check on her, Summer was gone. A frantic search began almost immediately. Family members looked around the property, calling her name. When they couldn't find her, authorities were contacted. The call reporting Summer missing came in shortly after 6:30 p.m. Law enforcement, search and rescue teams, and volunteers flooded the area. The terrain was difficult: dense woods, steep hills, and nearby waterways. Dogs were brought in. Drones searched from above. Helicopters circled the area. Thousands of hours were spent combing the land near the Wells' home. Despite the massive search effort, no trace of Summer was found. No footprints, no clothing, no physical evidence confirming where she went. As days turned into weeks, questions began to grow. Investigators stated early on that there was no evidence of an abduction, but they also did not rule one out. The case remained classified as a missing child investigation. Public attention intensified. The rural setting, the lack of evidence, and the age of the child drew national concern. Tips poured in from across the country. Authorities followed every lead, including reports of possible sightings, but none were confirmed. As the investigation continued, focus expanded beyond the immediate area. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation issued an endangered child alert. Summer's face was shared nationwide. Age-progressed images were later released as years passed without answers. Throughout the investigation, law enforcement conducted interviews, reviewed phone data, and examined timelines. They stated publicly that Summer's parents were cooperating, though inconsistencies in public statements fueled speculation online. Despite widespread rumors and theories, authorities emphasized that no arrests had been made and no suspects publicly identified. The lack of answers only deepened the pain. Months passed. Seasons changed. The search officially scaled back, but the investigation never closed. Summer's disappearance remained active, with authorities stating they were still following leads behind the scenes. For many, the most haunting part of Summer's case is the silence, the absence of evidence. Children usually leave something behind: a sound, a trail, a sign. In Summer's case, there was nothing. Her disappearance forced difficult questions. How does a 5-year-old vanish in minutes? Was it an accident? Did she wander off? Was someone else involved? To this day, those questions remain unanswered. As time passed, public attention slowly faded, but for those who cared, and for investigators still working quietly, Summer was never forgotten. She is described today as missing, not gone. Her case remains open. Her name still appears in databases. Her face is still shared. And the hope, however fragile, still exists that answers may one day come. Summer Wells was not a headline. She was a child, a little girl who deserved safety, protection, and a future. Her story is a reminder of how quickly innocence can disappear and how devastating the absence of answers can be. Until the truth is known, Summer remains missing. And until that day comes, her name continues to be spoken, because forgetting is not an option. Wherever you are, Summer, you are remembered.